Live from the Grenadian capital, this is the GBN television news. GBN, covering you from the Grenadine Island chain to Brooklyn, New York, via the World Wide Web on www.gbn.gd.
The news headlines is brought to you compliments GUT Credit Union.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong.
Hello and welcome to Network News for today, Wednesday, the 12th day of January 2022. I'm your presenter, Odette Campbell. Our top stories this hour. The Prime Minister addresses the notion that he should take advantage of an unprepared opposition by calling snap elections. Vaccinations coming to the fore as part of the school reopening equation. The country's chief public servant weighs in. Social Services Minister makes her COVID-19 positive status public in a bid to woo more positions to get moving on deferred decision. And businesses being urged to speed up the implementation of regular testing for unvaccinated employees. For a look ahead to what's happening in sports and across the miles, let's cross to see Frederick.
A special good evening to you, our viewers and listeners. In our probe around the globe this evening, what we find is anti-vaccination protesters in Guyana have been freed as the prosecution failed to prove their case. And further afield, the UK Prime Minister faces new calls to resign amid lockdown breach allegations. And coming up in sports, Cricket West Indies and Cricket Ireland announced new dates for remaining ODIs. I'll be back with the details a little later on in the newscast.
Thanks, Zia. We'll see you a little later in the newscast as promised. This is Network News. We'll be back with the details after these messages.
The first segment of the news comes to you compliments Soft Weave Bathroom Tissue.
Have you heard about the new Soft Weave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different technologies to offer the best protection for you and your family. UVC light technology for a safe and effective disinfection process, eliminating 99.9% of microorganisms. Also, production at high temperatures, killing all types of germs and bacteria. And it's pH controlled with delicate fibers to prevent irritation for even sensitive skin. Soft Weave Total Hygiene Bathroom Tissue, available in supermarkets and shops island-wide. Visit Soft Weave Caribbean Facebook or Instagram pages for more information.
And now for the news in detail, we're starting on the political front this evening. Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell says the electoral gates can be thrown open at any time, but he does not see a rationale for snap elections. GBN's Gerard Joseph sought out the Prime Minister's thought today.
We are in Grenada. The circumstances of Barbados, we are not aware. My friend and colleagues have not told me why she called the election 18 months ahead of time. And therefore, Grenada will make its own decision in what is considered its best interest.
This was the response of Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell when quizzed on the possibilities of a snap election for Grenada. General elections are constitutionally due in 2023. However, it was only recently the main opposition party, the National Democratic Congress, on October 31st, 2021, elected a new political leader. Barbadian Prime Minister Mia Mottley recently called the snap election for January 19th and lit a flame of expectancy that the Grenadian leader may follow in her footsteps. While many believed that the new National Party administration, led by Dr. Mitchell, should take advantage of their opponents being unprepared, the Prime Minister shares another view.
And I just want to add this. There are those who are saying the opposition is disorganized and blah, 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 and you should call it now. That means we should take advantage of the opposition. I don't share that. An election is called for improvement for the people of the country, not just for a political party to get advantage over the next one.
Prime Minister Mitchell reiterates that there is no rationale for a snap election just for undue advantages.
And in any event, you had 14 out of 15 seats. You had all 15, and somebody left. One person left. You can't get more than 15. So if we're talking about political advantage, what's the point? So the decision to call election will be based on what is necessary at a given time. And I have consistently said that when we call an election, of course we use the advantage of incumbency, but it will only be in the country's national interest.
I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Passionate public discourse continues on the proposed full-scale reopening of schools. The school of thought is that vaccination must be part of the equation. GBN's Janelle McDonald has been listing the various stakeholders on this issue. It was raised with Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell today.
Teachers and support staff must accept personal responsibility for their health, says Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, noting the inevitability of educators becoming fully vaccinated.
Clearly, Mikey, we will be able to find some substitute teachers, but if we have a massive infection, I don't see how you will be able to have that amount of substitute teachers to deal with physical presence in the classroom. So it means that we may have to go back to, if it reaches a point of crisis, to virtual teaching again.
He believes face-to-face learning and interactions are absolutely necessary while publicizing his support for vaccination among students.
The question, though, Gerard, is that you have to have the necessary vaccines available to be able to vaccinate and of course the human capacity to do the vaccination at all school level. That is being given attention and is something we have to look at seriously.
Prime Minister Mitchell notes that the situation is painful to him personally as he reminisces on joy and the ability for children to socialize and interact with friends.
What it means is that kids are losing the fundamental basis of their educational opportunities. And therefore, it is a crisis in itself, what is happening to many young, and you know who that affects the most? The poor kids.
The joys of interaction also came to the fore on GBN's Beyond the Headlines program on Monday night, as articulated by Mr. Glenn Alexander of the J.W. Fletcher Secondary School.
If you ask any student, basically their intent is to just get back to school. They miss the face-to-face, they miss their friends, and they just want to be back in the institution.
And that's something that you hear very often.
Oh yes, and knowing what we were closing off last year, going into Christmas, and so everyone was, we were looking, even teachers also, to be back with our students and enjoying the moments. We know this term is a sporting term and what it brings to school and school life, and I know off the bat, all students, close to 100%, would have loved to be back into the institution.
On a recent Beyond the Headlines program, principal of the Beacon Secondary School, Mrs. Cheryl Barnaby, also noted that vaccination will also have to be a part of the equation if schools were to return to some semblance of normalcy. For GBN News, Janelle McDonald.
Social Development Minister Delma Thomas has confirmed to GBN that she has tested positive for COVID-19. She spoke with Christina John on Wednesday.
Minister for Social Development, Housing and Community Empowerment, Delma Thomas, is the first government minister in Grenada known to publicly disclose that she has tested positive for COVID-19. The minister first disclosed her COVID-19 status on her Facebook page, saying, and I quote, "After working on the front line at mostly all pop-up clinics and visiting the hospital and not getting COVID-19, I have just tested positive for the virus," unquote. Minister Thomas, in an exclusive interview with GBN via telephone on Wednesday, says she contracted the virus from her husband, a police officer who was diagnosed with the virus last Thursday. It was after her second test she received a positive result. Mrs. Thomas, an asthmatic and is fully vaccinated, says she was exposed.
Got a positive result. The truth is my whole household are vaccinated. Every one of us in the house, we are vaccinated, and so I tested positive. My husband tested positive. One of my sons tested positive, and the other, my daughter, negative, and two of my sons negative also.
The Social Development Minister explained that she chose to disclose her COVID status with the public to shed light on the importance of getting tested as early as possible.
I decided to make public comments from the start. I've decided that once I tested positive, I will make a public declaration, because I believe that we have to sensitize the public. I've been in the peak of our first wave where we saw over 200 deaths. And what we saw and what the doctors experienced was family members keeping family home, saying it's the cold, and until they're coming when it's really too late.
She told GBN that her symptoms are a slight sore throat and stuffy nose, and assured the public that she is not in bed, has no cough or pain.
Follow the protocols, continue to wash your hands, wear your mask, because I believe once you're consistently wearing your mask, you cannot contract the virus. Even get vaccinated, because, one of the things you're seeing, those of us who are vaccinated, our symptoms are milder compared to those who are not.
The virus, she reminds, respects no one. Minister Thomas is hoping that her symptoms remained mild and has reiterated the need for people to wear a mask, wash their hands, and follow all the protocols, because COVID-19 does not discriminate. Christelina John, GBN News.
But no competition, as more light is shed on plans for Carriacou's Carnival celebrations this year. Do stay with us, we'll bring you that story and more.
You have been waiting on it all year. Now it's your chance to make this Christmas better than ever. Get the extra cash you need with a Make This Christmas Better loan from the GUT Credit Union. Get up to $50,000 to celebrate your Christmas and make your holiday dreams come true. Home improvements, new furniture, a vehicle, debt consolidation, or even a vacation. We can help you get there. Yes, you can. Make this Christmas better with the GUT Credit Union. It's where you belong. Have you heard about the new Softweave bathroom tissue with total hygiene? As hygiene and safety have taken center stage, our bathroom tissue is now manufactured with 3 different. The management of Charlo's Food Mart, River Road, St. George, is pleased to announce the reopening of its supermarket from tomorrow, Thursday, January 13th. Operating hours, Thursday 13th to Sunday 16th January, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. From Monday 17th January, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists presents Footprints of Hope Evangelistic Series with international and renowned evangelist Pastor Glenn O. Samuels. Get ready to hear and be blessed by this dynamic preacher. Join us for this life-changing series from Saturday, January 15th at 7:30 p.m. and continuing nightly at the same time. You can follow this virtual series on Mission Life GND via YouTube and Facebook. Do subscribe. There will be good gospel singing, prayer, electrifying sermons, and powerful preaching. God is waiting to save and redeem you through His free gift of salvation. Tune in, one and all, to receive the hope that God offers. It will be thrilling, awesome, and amazing.
Introducing the Grenlec mobile app. You can now get your bill balance and easily track energy usage for your home or business. Report and receive alerts about power outages. Plus, stay up to date by receiving the latest notifications. Yes, the Grenlec app keeps you connected anytime, anywhere.
With Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduce interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic's spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank. We're the one for you.
January 1947 saw the dawn of a new day, the birth of the Grenada Civil Service Credit Union, later renamed the Grenada Public Service Cooperative Credit Union Limited, and more recently, ARISA. ARISA is extremely proud to be celebrating this significant milestone. But this would not have been possible without you. And this is why we are inviting you to celebrate with us as we celebrate 75 years of transforming lives. Stay tuned to our social media platforms and our local media houses to learn more of the activities and events that we have in store for you. As we celebrate this journey, we thank all our stalwarts for their valued contributions in bringing us to where we are today. We look forward to serving you for many more years. Let's celebrate 75 years of transforming lives.
Physical violence, threats, controlling behavior, and being disrespectful are no-nos in any relationship. Parenting together after a breakup can be difficult, but always speak and behave in ways you would want your children to speak and act. You cannot control what your ex-partner does, but you can control how you choose to respond to your ex and what behaviors you display to your children. Parents, display behaviors you will want your children to learn. A respectful child begins with you. Step up your parenting game. My family matters.
GBN leads, the others follow. This segment is brought to you by Republic Bank.
Light up this Christmas with Republic. Come on and brighten up the holidays with Republic.
Light up your Christmas with Republic Bank. Light up your home with renovation. Light up your driveway with a new vehicle. Even better, light up the faces of your loved ones with a loan from Republic Bank. Get up to $50,000 unsecured. Reduce interest rates, quick approvals, and win cash prizes with Republic Bank.
The holidays are here. Republic's spreading the cheer. Come on and light up your Christmas with Republic.
Make this Christmas your brightest with Republic Bank. Special terms and conditions apply.
Republic Bank, we're the one for you.
Thanks for staying with us. As always, we say a special good evening to our listeners on K105. Those of you following our social media platforms, we're glad to have you with us. Let's move on now to Carriacou, where Carnival returns this year. However, there's a difference. One thing is certain, there'll be events, but no competition. Rena Pear-Thomas spoke with the president of the committee and brings us the details in this report.
While still in the planning stage of Carriacou Carnival 2020, executive members of the Carriacou Carnival Committee says this year's activities will not have any competition, but will be more of a cultural event. The president of the committee, Princess John, explained that on Monday, her team met with local artists to give them an insight on what is planned for next month and to get their response to the plans outlined.
With the artists, and they turned out in a numbers because I think that the artists really miss the carnival. Everybody on island missed the carnival, including Grenada, all over the world. The kayak mass is so unique. And in our discussion, it was a very fruitful discussion. We discussed that there'll be no competition this year because, everybody's affected by COVID one way or another. So what we discussed and came up with is just to do a showcasing of the different aspects of the festival. So we're going to have the little groovy, the soca, the calypso, the little Shakespeare mass.
John said that due to COVID-19, all activities will be held virtually. She gave more details on some of the events planned.
We're looking forward to highlight more of the Shakespeare mass. We want to do the old mass and all the different aspects of the carnival. As I said, it wouldn't be a wide scale. We wouldn't have a large band, 5 or 6 bands on the streets of Hillsborough, but what we're doing something very small, and it will be a virtual event, enclosed area. We're really looking at a limited persons being at the venue. That's why we're doing virtual, so everybody could stay home or where by a friend and look at the event. But we still have to finalize with the board. As you know, we're governed by the festival's board, and they're working closely with us to make sure that the event kicks off, and we trust that by end of week or next week, please God, we can finalize on definitely what we are doing for the 2022 festival.
Meanwhile, Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, during an interview with reporters on Wednesday, says although they have had discussions and plans for celebrating Carnival 2022 in Carriacou and Grenada, it will not be like the previous years, with COVID-19 still creating havoc.
And Carriacou Carnival, like Trinidad Carnival, it's just in February, I think. I can't remember the date. And therefore, I don't see how you can have the usual type of physical carnival celebrations in February. Now, the August celebration of the national activity might be different. Discussions have already started with stakeholders. And if the trend continues and we have less and less hospitalization and infection, if that trend continues, if it peaks and start going down, then we could look at a limited form of activity. But I doubt, without being able to project what will happen in August, that you will see the carnival celebration as it normally has been by August this year. Because
if materialized, this will be the first carnival to be held since 2019. For GBN News, I am Rena Pear-Thomas reporting.
Discussions continue on the proposed decriminalization of marijuana. The first step was to present a bill before Parliament, and that has already taken place. Christina John has been following the developments.
St. Vincent and the Grenadines can already boast of exporting its first legal shipment of medical cannabis to Europe. The question is, how far behind is Grenada in at least decriminalizing marijuana? Agriculture Minister Peter David says they have already taken the first step.
the bill has been laid in Parliament, so we've made the first step. The next step is for us to do second reading, which will now be the debate, where it will be debated in the Parliament and then would be passed. That's at the lower house. Then it will be taken to the Senate, where the Senate will have its own debate, and the Senate, after passing it, it will become law once the Governor General signs on it. So we've started a process. The process should not go beyond the next month or so. It's something that we've decided on.
The Agriculture Minister explained that rights will be granted once the bill is passed in Parliament.
It is currently before the House, that has currently been laid in the Parliament, recommends the decriminalization of persons who use cannabis, could use it in the privacy of their home, can have in their possession an ounce of cannabis. They are not allowed to go in a public place and do it, and they can grow 4 or 5 trees, I think it is, in their home. With respect to other aspects of the bill, the Rastafarians who use it as a sacrament, they are allowed to have it in the tabernacle.
Prime Minister Dr. Keith Mitchell, during a press conference Wednesday morning, says the decision to decriminalize marijuana could be reached sooner rather than later. Dr. Mitchell reiterated his position of being in support of the use of small quantities, however, stated his fears over the abuse of the substance. He said it does not take an election to reach a decision.
Position is clear. It doesn't have to wait on anything. In fact, it may even happen before the final decision, before a general election. So we support limited use of marijuana for medicinal purposes and other basic purposes that's required.
The Drug Abuse and Prevention Amendment Bill 2021 went before Parliament during the 2022 budget presentation for the first reading. Chrislina John, GBN News.
Of course, you can continue chiming in on the various issues on the GBN social media platforms. You can also tune in to K105, GBN Television, and our social media pages in the morning and have a convo with GT and Gary, G Squared, in the morning time, to the point at 9 o'clock every morning. This is Network News, and still to come from us, we'll take a look at what's happening in the wide and wonderful world of sports. But in the third segment, calls for employers to speed up the implementation of regular testing of unvaccinated workers. We'll tell you whose thoughts these are when we come back.
We would have launched our microloans product back in 2018 when we realized that it was such a challenge for small business owners to source financing. The main objective of our microloans brand is to ensure that we help small business owners build their capacity and grow their businesses, not just in St. Lucia but across the OACS. You are able to apply for your loan online at www.readyfinancecaribbean.com. You can also call us at our switchboard 457-8100 and speak to one of our very qualified microfinance officer. One of the main parts and one of the main things that we're really proud of from this product is the fact that we offer training solutions and we help our customers build their capacity. And we want to stress the fact that it's not just about giving you financial assistance, but it's really about ensuring that you are able to succeed in your business.
Introducing Color by Sissons. 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 Color by Sissons.
The management of Charlo's Food Mart, River Road, St. George, is pleased to announce the reopening of its supermarket from tomorrow, Thursday, January 13th. Operating hours, Thursday 13th to Sunday 16th January, 9 a.m. to 8 p.m. From Monday 17th January, 7 a.m. to 9 p.m.
A whole new
level of convenience and comfort awaits you when you shop at Rise and Shine Supermarket and Hardware Supplies, Griffin Lane, Grenville. Convenient, because we are open Sunday to Sunday. We're even at your service on public holidays. Comfort, because we are easily accessible to the physically challenged. Free Wi-Fi is available while you shop, and bags come at no charge. Everyday low prices and excellent customer care. Adequate parking available. We supply everything you can possibly think of. Family and home supplies, fresh meat, vegetables, and personal care products. All brands of cooking gas at affordable prices. You can send in your order, have it pulled, or pick up express.
Do you have muscular pain that no one can find a solution for? Are you tired of taking meds for joints and other pains? Hills and Valley Medicare Center on Grenville Street, St. George is here to help you heal. We will help you map a path to your full recovery. Visit us Monday to Saturday for a consultation with our on-site doctor, physiotherapist, and massage team. You will be glad you did. Our Medicare Center, a proud member of the Hills and Valley group of companies. On the hilltop or in the valley, we are with you wherever life takes you. Hills and Valley Pharmacy. Your health is our business.
Running low on groceries? Why not visit realvalueiga.com and experience our new online shopping platform. Place your order, then go out and enjoy your day to spend more time with friends and family. Delivery available within select locations or in-store pickup available. Sounds simple, right? It is. Stress less, live more with Real Value IGA online store, where good food begins.
Are you looking for quality herbs and herbal supplements, or are you thinking about having a complete body cleanse to jumpstart your health? Then no need to look further. Visit Nirvana Natural Health Clinic, Detox Center, and Natural Health Store. We carry a wide range of herbal products for kidney and gallstone cleansing, male sexual enhancement formulas, asthma and sinusitis, gas and bloating, acid reflux, constipation, arthritis, imbalanced hormones, female health issues, liver cleansing, weight loss, and so much more. Also available, colonic irrigation, holistic health consultations, essential oils, and diffusers. Look out for our online natural health store coming soon. Call 231-6642 418-7115 or 449-7753 to find out about our delivery options or to book an appointment. Visit us at Belmont St. George's, close to the Foliage, Monday to Saturday, 9 a.m. to 6 p.m. Nirvana Natural Health Clinic. Detox your way to health.
This is GBN. We've got the means, the power, and the medium. This segment is brought to you by Flow. And welcome back. Businesses here are being told that they may need to speed up the implementation of regular testing for unvaccinated employees to ensure the financial burden is not absorbed by employers. Gerard Joseph has the details.
During the budget debate, Private Sector Senator Christopher Diali had indicated the possibility of some employers no longer taking on the cost of testing employees for COVID-19 in order to know their status.
Your livelihood is going to be dependent on your status in terms of vaccination or unvaccinated.
Senator Diali is now reaffirming that this remains a likelihood for businesses that choose not to mandate vaccination.
So that staff could ensure that they're coming with a status. They know their status, and we at the business know their status, so we know what to do. So it helps all parties in that sense. And I could see that being accelerating as this virus and its level of contagiousness continues as it has started to.
The private sector senator says companies and the economy in general are now expected to prepare for the real effects fiscally, as the waiver on loans is due to end in 2022. Meanwhile, the senator says the behavior of citizens must be challenged, noting that as citizens, the protocols must be followed to reduce the transmission.
The real issue is jobs, and people having jobs and livelihoods to continue earning and continue meeting their obligations in whatever form there are to be met. In Grenada, we seem to be heading down a road where the government is not anxious to lock down again in any form. because they understand the implications of lockdown. And when you have community spread, and based on what the science is saying, locking down doesn't really help. What really helps is behavior and how we do what we have to do, whether we go to large gatherings without any protections and all of that.
He says the emphasis and constant reminders must be on workers understanding the major role their behavior and discipline to the protocols play in keeping the second wave to a minimum. Senator Diali says personal responsibility to get vaccinated or receive boosters and to reflect on one's lifestyle while making adjustments must be the focus. I am Gerard Joseph for GBN News.
Let's see what was captured under the lens.
A good eye captures all. GBN Eyesore is brought to you by Clear Vision.
Life is beautiful if only you can see it. Clear Vision Eye Center helps you do just that. We provide expert service, classy eyewear, and cutting-edge technology, all with a quality customer experience. See better, feel better, and look better. Meet us today at clearvisiongrenada.com or call 444-0055, WhatsApp 409-0055, or follow us on Facebook, Instagram, and Twitter. Clear Vision Eye Center. Let's see life and the world with a clear vision.
You might have heard Saved by the Bell, but what about Saved by the Tree? On Tonight Eyesore, we feature a tree saved by another tree. Our Eyesore reporter says, quote, these are beech trees. The larger one has advanced beech bark disease. When this happens, beech trees propagate from their root system due to the stress. This new tree, the smaller one on the left, became mature before the parent tree died. Once the branches from the new tree grew into contact with the main trunk of the parent tree, the rubbing action would create a wound on the trunk and branch where contact is made. Beech has thin bark, and because of this, these trees are probably genetically identical. Their cambium layers could easily fuse at the wound site, creating a kind of graft. Both trees now pass water and nutrients back and forth through these fused sites, unquote. We thank our citizen journalists for this submission. Send us your photo and video submissions via WhatsApp on 405-3052 or our other social media platforms.
Very interesting there. Tree saved by a tree. This is Network News. Still to come from us this evening, the Windies and Ireland announced the date for their rescheduled one-day international. They're playing on Thursday. And there's a new twist in the Djokovic saga tale, as reports surface that he may have been rearrested for a second time. That story straight ahead, together with our probe around the globe with Zia Frederick.
We're bringing you gifts of love with cheer at the communal. This Christmas, we are your Santa. It's all about sharing the warmth of this season with those you love. Get in on this special loan, taking advantage of great interest rates with no principal payments until January 2022. Share the gift of love. Make it a merrier Christmas with the communal. Exciting prizes for members throughout the promotion. For we are your Santa this Christmas. Offer ends January 31st, 2022. Lending terms and conditions apply. Communion show with that
Grenada Conference of Seventh-day Adventists presents Footprints of Hope Evangelistic Series with international and renowned evangelist Pastor Glenn O. Samuels. Get ready to hear and be blessed by this dynamic preacher. Join us for this life-changing series from Saturday, January 15th at 7:30 p.m. and continuing nightly at the same time. You can follow this virtual series on Mission Life GND via YouTube and Facebook. Do subscribe. There will be good gospel singing, prayer, electrifying sermons, and powerful preaching. God is waiting to save and redeem you through His free gift of salvation. Tune in, one and all, to receive the hope that God offers. It will be thrilling, awesome, and amazing.
2050, 2050, 2050. That's our pledge to you. You get 20% of the purchase of 4 new tires at Premium Auto Services. And that's not all. You get an additional 50% discount on your wheel alignment. Wow! Now that's a deal. Additionally, you receive free wheel balancing service with the purchase of 2 new tires. It's a 2050 deal. Only at Premium Auto Services. Call today to place your order. 439-4000. Offer valid while stocks last.
A little known fact, there is only one place in Grenada that you can get an MRI scan done. That place is Spicile Imaging Center. Yes, Grenada, that's the truth. Other centers could offer you other scans, but Spicile Imaging provides an authentic MRI scan. Here's another little known fact. Spicile Imaging has 3 centers. We operate at Grenville, the Carnage, and at the Ocean House, Grand Anse. We provide the widest range of laboratory tests and services. CT scans, x-rays, mammograms, ultrasounds, and a host of other services. We are fully staffed by a team of family doctors and specialists. Call us today at 444-7679. or 406-1500, or visit any of our 3 locations. Spicile Imaging, from seeing the doctor to getting lab tests, scans, and pharmacy services. We are here to take care of you.
What does it take to be an amazing woman? Lots of me time. Amazing women are classy, fancy, and a little sassy. It's the drink for me. Cheers! Sometimes you've got to show them who's boss. Alpha male? Nah, alpha females are more amazing. Cheers to securing the bag. We make time for ourselves, for work, friends, and we certainly make time for passion. We're simply amazing. Amazing cream liqueur for the amazing woman in you.
Keeping an eye on the weather, this is GBN. We've got you covered. And now for a look at the public forecast. The weather, apart from the isolated trade wind shower, generally fair conditions are expected. Winds east-northeast to east at 10 to 20 miles per hour. Tonight's minimum temperature, 24 degrees Celsius. Pull the bank please a little closer. Seas slight to moderate with waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. The tides low at 6:30, the next high tide at 1:10 in the morning. Let's look ahead to the 3-day weather forecast. On Thursday, the weather is expected to be generally fair and breezy, becoming partly cloudy at times with the isolated trade wind shower possible. The winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 14 to 25 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. The high tide will be at 1:10 a.m. on Friday morning. And looking Looking ahead to Friday, the weather is expected to be generally fair and windy, becoming partly cloudy at times with a possible isolated shower, increasing cloudiness overnight with a few brief showers. Winds east-northeast to east-southeast at 16 to 26 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. And on Saturday, the weather is expected to be partly cloudy, occasionally cloudy and windy with a few brief to widely scattered showers and some fair spells. Might be a good day to go to the beach. The winds northeast to east at 17 to 27 miles per hour. Seas slight to moderate, waves 3 to 5 feet in open waters. And that's the 3-day weather forecast.
Sporting fans, let's bowl off with cricket. Cricket West Indies and Cricket Ireland have confirmed changes to the match schedule for the ongoing CG Insurance One-Day International Series. The second CG Insurance ODI will now be played on Thursday, January 13th. The third and final game will be played on Sunday 16th at Sabina Park. Both matches will begin 9:30 a.m. Jamaica time. The rescheduling occurred following 5 COVID-19 positive cases as well as injuries in the Ireland camp, leaving the Ireland squad depleted ahead of the second CG Insurance ODI, which was originally scheduled for Tuesday, January 11th. As a consequence, the one-off CG Insurance T20 International has been cancelled to allow for this revised schedule and to avoid impacts on the team's travel plans and subsequent fixtures. These ODI matches form part of the ICC ODI Super League, with both teams having the opportunity to win points and become one of the top 7 teams, excluding hosts India, to gain automatic qualification for the 2023 ICC Men's Cricket World Cup. In the standings, last updated on September 13th, 2021, Ireland sit 4th with 50 points, while the West Indies are 8th with 40 points. West Indies lead the 3-match series 1-0 following their 24-run victory in the first CG Insurance ODI on Saturday. Meanwhile, Antigua and Barbuda Minister of Sports Daryl Matthew insists the country's preparations to host matches for the ICC Under-19 Cricket World Cup remains on track despite concerns being raised in recent weeks. The matches for the tournament will be played in Antigua, Guyana, St. Kitts, and Trinidad. Antigua has been earmarked to host the Super League quarterfinals, semifinals, and the finals, in addition to the 3rd, 5th, and 7th place playoffs. The main venues that will be used are the Coolidge Cricket Ground and the Sir Vivian Richards Stadium, but there have been questions asked about the state of some of the practice grounds, with the tournament set to bowl off on January 14th. Matthew insists there is no need to worry, as the government fully intends to honor its commitments. The ICC Under-19 World Cup will take place between January 14th and February 5th. In the news of tennis, the drama continued to play out in Australia over the status of world number 1 Novak Djokovic. According to his family, he has been rearrested by Australian authorities. The news broke on today's edition of Good Morning Britain, which featured retired tennis ace Martina Navratilova.
Significant police presence at the office of his lawyers in Melbourne. This is according to Oliver Brown at The Telegraph. White vans heading into the underground car park. Reports that Australian federal police heading in to arrest him. Apparently, the immigration minister has 4 hours in which to re-cancel his visa. Australian government, of course, furious about the fact that the cancelling of his original visa was overturned by a judge within the last couple of hours.
This is extraordinary. We were reporting less than 2 hours ago that he was going to be sprung on the order of the judge this morning in our time in exactly 30 minutes. Well, let's try and sort of draw breath with the 18-time Grand Slam winner Martina Navratilova. What do you make of this? It's hard to keep up, isn't it? I mean, if it's true that he has been rearrested, what's your feeling about this?
Beyond belief, really. What a saga, and it all could have been avoided. I think it's just so many people messed up and took some things for granted. I just wish that Novak had taken that vaccination to begin with. You know, he's a great leader. He's an amazing athlete. Obviously, I admire him so much. I've defended him so many times, but I cannot defend the choice to not be vaccinated if you don't want that vaccine because you don't know, you don't believe it, whatever. You still, as I said, need to take one for the team. If you want to lead, you need to lead by example, and that example would be what's good for the greater good. Anyway, all of this could have been avoided, but here we are, and who knows where it'll all end up. It's just getting crazier by the minute.
So Martina, that's interesting. You feel then, as a championship tennis player, you feel that people like you and like him should rise above individuality and the freedom of choice of the individual and recognise that they have a broader duty to the public.
I think so, because, you know, we're in such close contact in the locker rooms, and you obviously are raising the possibility of getting COVID, and also if you get it, you can get really sick. So I was in line and I couldn't wait to get vaccinated. And I was really, really strict with my diet and regimen, all of that. I admire Novak. I know what it takes to be that committed. And I was in that boat 30 years ago. I would have been waiting in line 30 years ago. I was waiting in line this last year to get vaccinated. I would be much more scared of getting really sick from not being vaccinated than whatever side effects I may have from the vaccination, which, you know, billions of people are hoping to get vaccinated. They can't get the vaccine.
That's the sports news for now. Our probe around the globe is next. And welcome to our probe around the globe. Tonight we begin in Guyana, where 8 protesters were freed as the prosecution failed to prove its case. We get more in this report.
Attorney at law Darren Wade has confirmed to Nightly News that 8 anti-vaccination protesters who were arrested on August 25th, 2021 have had the case against them thrown out for want of prosecution. They all made their final appearance before Magistrate Dylan Bess Monday afternoon. The 8 protesters, including women who were taken into custody on August 25th, lost as they were allegedly protesting the Ministry of Education's breakdown offices, the stiffer rules and enforcement measures implemented to motivate teachers and staff to get vaccinated. Police said 8 persons were arrested as they marched west on Brigham from the Square of the Revolution. Permission, the force had said, was not granted for this. Among those freed Monday afternoon was Working People's Alliance supporter Kidaki Amsterdam, who said that he was protesting peacefully and that it is a democratic right to protest. Sources have indicated to Nightly News another set of legal actions may ensue for wrongful arrests and detention by the police. Tamika Rodney reporting for the HGP Nightly News.
Meanwhile, the French Senate has begun examining a controversial COVID vaccine pass law. The proposed health pass would allow only those who have the jab to enter public places.
The southern port of Marseille is in a region with one of the highest unvaccinated populations in France. Until recently, Nico Gros was among them. When we first met him a year ago, he didn't want a COVID vaccine because he worried about possible side effects. But he has since changed his mind and just had his second jab.
I had many questions about the vaccine's effectiveness, what's in it. It was a personal decision, and I decided to say no to being vaccinated. But the situation has since evolved. There's a fifth wave, the Omicron variant. We now know children are a major source of transmission, and my wife is a teacher, so my environment has changed. And on balance, I decided it was better to get vaccinated.
France has registered record numbers of new COVID infections. Doctors say most people in hospital with the virus are unvaccinated, so the government wants to pressure those who are not immunised to get a jab by introducing a vaccine pass for most social activities. Last week, French MPs approved the pass after days of fierce debate. People in France have to have a COVID health pass if they want to catch a train, go to the movies, or even be in a restaurant like this. It is a QR code that most people have on their telephone that effectively shows whether you've been fully vaccinated or have a recent negative test. But the government want to change the rules so that only people who are vaccinated will be able to access the pass, which means people who are unvaccinated will no longer be able to do things like this. The measure has infuriated people who are against the COVID vaccine. On Saturday, thousands protested in Paris against the pass and against the French president, who recently made controversial comments about unvaccinated people.
It is an attack on our freedom. I am not vaccinated, and Macron does not respect the Constitution. He has insulted me as a citizen.
This opposition MP says the pass is an erosion of rights and the wrong approach.
To persuade people to get vaccinated, you have to respect them. We have a high vaccination rate, nearly 90%, but we need to convince people who are unvaccinated, not necessarily because they are against it, but because they don't have enough information.
While some say the vaccine pass is divisive, Emmanuel Macron bet on most people in France supporting it because the majority are immunised. Opinion polls suggest he was right. 3 months before the presidential election, Macron is hoping that his risky political calculation will pay off. Natasha Butler, Al Jazeera, Marseille.
The United Kingdom's Prime Minister is facing renewed calls to step down after new revelations about a garden party held during lockdown. Boris Johnson has repeatedly denied breaking lockdown rules, but a leaked email reportedly shows his private secretary invited about 100 government staff to the gathering on the same day the culture secretary told the public that they should not meet more than one person from another household. We get more in this report.
How many garden parties is a garden party too far? This image shows Boris Johnson at a gathering behind 10 Downing Street during the first lockdown in May 2020. His office has always claimed this was a work meeting. Now he's under intense pressure after press reports he attended another gathering here 5 days later, along with dozens of colleagues. An email from one of his advisors to 100 members of staff said, "Hi all, after what has been an incredibly busy period, we thought it would be nice to make the most of the lovely weather and have some socially distanced drinks in the number 10 garden this evening. Please join us from 6 p.m. and bring your own booze."
And I know that people are also eager for news of
The same day, the Culture Secretary was on television telling the public they shouldn't meet more than one person from another household. In Parliament on Tuesday, the opposition was granted an urgent question.
Speaker, to ask the Prime Minister to make a statement on reports of events held in the Downing Street Garden on the 20th of May 2020.
Boris Johnson didn't turn up, leaving it to a cabinet colleague to fend off repeated calls for him to resign.
I apologise again, unreservedly, for the upset that these allegations have caused. The Prime Minister has asked for an investigation to take place, and the terms of reference for the investigations that are underway have already been published.
In recent months, the press has been full of reports of social gatherings in Downing Street where COVID-19 regulations were broken. But this time it feels different. Johnson has refused to deny anything, saying only that there'll be an investigation by Sue Gray, a senior civil servant. Well, the reaction of the former head of the Scottish Conservatives was particularly acerbic on Tuesday. She said nobody needs an official to tell them whether they were at a boozy shindig in their own garden. Well, apart from Sue Gray's investigation, the police here now say they're in touch with the Cabinet Office over those reports of a garden party. The government's official number of people who've died from COVID-19 has just passed 150,000. No surprise then that the airwaves have been full of people who lost loved ones in 2020 and weren't allowed to attend their funerals, condemning the Prime Minister. Boris Johnson's popularity ratings have already slumped in recent months. Whether this latest scandal translates into any real attempts by his party to replace him is less clear. Nadeem Barber, Al Jazeera, London.
That's a wrap for tonight's probe. I'm Zia Frederick saying thanks for joining us, and do stay with us for a recap of the main points.
Recapping our top stories this evening, Prime Minister addresses the notion that he should take advantage of an unprepared opposition by calling snap elections. He says that's not his style. Vaccinations come to the fore as part of the school reopening equation. The country's chief public servant weighs in. Officers in various sectors are saying it will have to be part of the equation. Social Services Minister makes her COVID-19 positive status public in a bid to woo more people to get vaccinated. And as we heard in the wide and wonderful world of sports, the West Indies and Ireland, they have rescheduled their postponed match to Thursday. And the Novak Djokovic case, an interesting new twist to the tale, reports that he has been arrested for a second time. We'll see how that pans out tomorrow. That's Network News for today, Wednesday, the 12th day of January 2022. Just in case you joined us late, you can get the recap of the newscast at 10 o'clock on television. And those of you with access to social media, no need to worry. You can catch up with us on our Facebook page and the YouTube channel. I'm Odette Campbell. We'll see you again tomorrow.